Hello everyone and welcome to my video. I'm Luke Carvile and today I'm showing you another deck profile. And this time I'm showing you a Nephthys Dino deck. And yeah, I built it myself and yeah, it has some interesting twists in it, but yeah, it might not be the most, let's say, yeah, the most consistent one or competitive one, but it can do some nice stuff and it's fun to play. And luckily the cards mostly have become cheaper, and yeah, only a few aren't that cheap anymore, and one will become much cheaper very soon. So let's start with the first card, and that is Tomosaurus. You see, I have a vanilla on this deck, and this has actually one reason. And yeah, it is because of advanced ritual art, and it is an easy way to get another dinosaur in the graveyard. And I can show you something interesting about this card. So I'll filter here, monster, normal, level 2, and let's see if it is still that. Yeah, it is the only dinosaur monster that is a normal monster at level 2. In the whole game, which is, in my opinion, quite funny. And yeah, so it is. We have to play 2 copies of it, so we have 1 in the deck left if we draw it. And yeah, that's just what we need for our ritual summons. Okay, then we have Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. Yeah, there are 2 ways to special summon it: either by banishing two dinosaur monsters from your graveyard while it is in your hand, or by using double evolution pill. And if while it's on the field, you can use its effect to destroy 1 monster in your hand or field, including itself if you want to. And yeah, then you can change all face-up monsters your opponent controls to face-down defense position. Also, it can attack all defense position monsters. It can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. And at the start of the damage step, if it attacks a defense position monster, you can inflict 1000 damage to your opponent. And if you do that, then you can send that monster in defense position to the graveyard. So you don't have to destroy it by battle. Then, yeah, it's a great interruption, of course, with its flipping face down, because that prevents many extra deck summons except for fusion summons, of course. And 1 specific link summon at Ghost Tricks, but yeah, that's pretty rare. Then we have the Sacred Phoenix of Nephthys. It used to be quite strong back in the old time. I think it used to be banned at some point, I think. Because yeah, its effect is, if it was destroyed by card effect, then on your next standby phase, you can special summon it back from the graveyard and destroy all spells and traps on the field. Which used to be very strong. It's still good, but yeah, of course not the fastest maybe nowadays. Then we have Giant Rex. Yeah, Giant Rex yeah, has an easy effect. If it is banished, then you can once per turn special summon it back. And while it's on the field, it gains 200 attack for each banished dinosaur monster. And also, it cannot attack directly. But yeah, that's not really what it is in the deck for, so yeah. Then we have Miscellaneous Dinosaurs. It is still limited, but in this deck, it isn't that bad that it's limited. We can still play it. Yeah, when you discard it, during the main phase, as a quick effect, also during your opponent's main phase, your opponent cannot your dinosaur monsters you control are unaffected by your opponent's card effects during the main phase only. So during the battle phase, they are affected again. But yeah, it's more important in this deck for the graveyard effect, because you can banish it from your graveyard, including more dinosaur monsters, and then special summon a dinosaur monster from your deck equal to that level of the with a level equal to that number of banished monsters. So if you banish it and another monster, then you can special summon a level 2 dinosaur monster. But it is destroyed during the end phase, but it never stays on the field until the end phase, so no problem. Then we have Soul Eating Oviraptor. Yeah, this one usually is played at 3 in Dino decks, but in this one we just need 2. So we have at least 1 target in the deck. And when it is normal special summon, we can add a dinosaur from our deck to our hand, and or send it to the graveyard instead if you want to. And also it has a different effect, by which we can target one other level 4 or lower dinosaur monster on the field, not only your field but also the opponent's field, and destroy it, and then special summon a dinosaur monster from our graveyard in defense position. Then we have the Codebreaker 0 Day. Yeah, it's more for, yeah, it's on the deck for a specific combo, but it's not always needed. But it can help to get a few more negates maybe. So yeah, it is. Yeah, it's more to actually combo a little more. Then we have Matriarch of Nephthys. This one has the effect you can target one level 4 or lower Nephthys monster in your graveyard, except itself of course. Destroy 1 card in your hand, and if you do, then special summon that targeted monster but negate its effects. And and the other effect, which never really comes up, is during the next standby phase, after it was destroyed by a card effect, you can special it from the graveyard. But yeah, that never really happens. Then we have Baby Sarosaurus, and yeah, the reason why it is in here, if it is destroyed by card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon a level 4 or lower dinosaur monster from your deck. And it can be destroyed by Matriarch in your hand, so you don't have to summon it before you destroy it, which is very good. Then we have Diviner of the Herald, which is very great in this deck. It's a tuner, it is level 2, and also it has especially the effect, if it is normal special summon, you can send 1 fairy monster from your deck, but especially from your extra deck, to the graveyard, and if you do, increase this card's level by that monster's level until the end of this turn. And that's actually what we need, the rest isn't very important. Then we have Animadont Archosaur, and yeah, if it is normal special summon, you can destroy a dinosaur monster in your hand or face up field, except itself, and then add a reptile monster, sea serpent monster, winged beast monster with the same original level as that destroyed monster, or 1 evolution pill spell from a deck to your hand. And yeah, that's great actually. Then we have Conductor of Nephthys. We play 3 copies of it because, yeah, we really need it in our hand. Divine of the Herald is also a way to get it, and that's why we also play Herald at 3. Then Devotee of the Conductor of Nephthys has 2 effects. Well, yeah, it has 2 effects. One is that if it is ritual summoned, you can special summon 1 Nephthys ritual monster from a hand or deck, except for itself, for another copy of itself. And it is treated as ritual summon, by the way, which is pretty unique, and it is a great effect for this one, for this strategy. And during the next standby phase, if it was destroyed by a Nephthys card effect, or if it was tributed, you can destroy up to 3 Nephthys cards, except for ritual monsters, 1 from your hand, 1 from your deck, and 1 from your field. And yeah. So next we have 1 copy of Devotee of Nephthys. We need only 1 copy because, yeah, Conductor can also summon from the hand, so no problem. and it has two effects. One effect is, if it is ritual summoned, then you can special summon one Nephthys monster from your deck, and also during the end phase of this turn, it destroys itself, but it doesn't stay on the field till then. So yeah. And the other effect is, while it is in the graveyard, you can destroy one Nephthys card in your hand, and if you do, special summon it. Of course, hard once per turn. Then we have Harpy's Feather Duster, yeah, just to destroy all spells and traps your opponent controls, to maybe have a free way to their life points. Then we have Double Evolution Pill. You banish one dinosaur monster and one non-dinosaur monster from your hand and or graveyard, and then special summon one level 7 or higher dinosaur monster from your hand or deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. So basically a way to get out Conductor. Then we have Fossil Dig, yeah, a better rotor for dinosaurs, so you can add one level 6 or lower dinosaur from your deck to your hand, and not even once per turn. So a way to get to Biosaurus. Then we have Dark Ruler more to, yeah, it's you know what you do, what it does. It negates all the effects of face up monsters your opponent controls until the end of this turn. The opponent cannot respond to the activation of this card, and after this card resolves, the opponent doesn't take any damage for the rest of this turn. Well, actually, no player can activate monster effects in response to it. So yeah, it's quite useful to deal with big boards, build up your own board, and yeah, then your opponent has a problem. Then next we have 2 copies of Extra Foolish Burial, because it can you pay half of your life points, and then you can send one monster from your extra deck to the graveyard. But on the turn you activate it, you cannot set spells or traps, which you never do in this deck. So yeah, the only card which you could set, but which you don't set, is Called by the Grave, unless you didn't activate Extra Foolish Burial, of course. Then for consistency, we have Pot of Prosperity. Yeah, you banish 3 or 6 cards from your of your choice from your extra deck, face down, and for the rest of this turn, after it resolves, you only deal half damage to your opponent, and also each time, also you cannot draw any cards by effects on this turn, not even before, like at Pot of Extravagance. But yeah, that's not really a problem. And then you can take, dig out all the top cards up to the number of the top cards of the same amount of the cards you banished, and yeah, so 3 or 6, and then you get to take one of them and add it to your hand. The others put on the bottom of your deck in any order. So you can dig quite deep into your deck, so you can get the card you maybe need. Then we have Advanced Ritual Art. You can ritual summon any ritual monster with it by sending a normal monster from a deck to your graveyard, whose total levels are equal, or multiple normal monsters, of course, can also be sent if needed, but we only send one. Which levels have to be equal to the level of the ritual monster we want to summon. So it cannot exceed the level like at most ritual spells, but it has to exactly match. And that's where Tomosaurus actually is perfect, because we need another dinosaur in the graveyard, and we need level 2. We need a level 2 monster for that, and it fits perfectly, and it's the only one that fits this purpose. Then, of course, Called by the Grave to counter hand traps, because it can banish the hand trap if they send it to the graveyard, and negate the effects of cards with that name. So it can counter almost all hand traps except for Nibiru or, let's say, infinite impermanence, but that's not a big problem. Then let's take a look at the extra deck. So we have Borderlord Savage Dragon. Yeah, if it is synchro summoned, you can you can equip one link monster from a graveyard to it as a spell, and if you do, then you can place borrow counters on it equal to the number of link arrows of the link rating the link monster has, and yeah, then it also gains attack equal to half of the attack of the monster equipped to it. And yeah, you can once per turn you can remove one counter to negate the activation of a card or effect. So any card or effect, and yeah, that's it. So you don't destroy it, unlike at most Omni negates, but still it negates the activation. So quite useful. Then we have Herald of Arclight. Theoretically, we could also summon it in this deck by, it's a level 4 synchro, and it has two effects. One is, or let's say, it has three effects. If it is sent from, if it is sent to the graveyard, then you can add a ritual spell or monster from a deck to your hand. Also, it can negate a spell trap, or a spell card, trap card, or monster effect that is activated by attributing itself from the field. And also, while it is on the field, any monster sent from the hand or main deck to the graveyard is banished instead. So kind of like a little Dark Law or Macrocosmos, but yeah, only for hand and main deck cards. Then yeah, we also the funny thing is, its a graveyard effect isn't even once per turn, so you can sometimes we even need to send two of them. Then we have Evil Star Lagia. This one can either negate as a normal or special summon or a spell or trap card by detaching two materials. So that is also quite useful in this deck. Then we have Abyss Dweller, which shuts down all graveyard effects from your opponent, so your opponent cannot activate them for the turn on which you activate this effect. And yeah, so you can do it at on two turns, so your opponent cannot play if they have a deck that relies on the graveyard, especially decks like Tearlaments, for example. Then we have Borosword Dragon, and yeah, first it cannot be destroyed by battle. Also, it has a quick effect. Yeah, you can target one attack position monster, either your monster or your opponent's monster, and switch it to defense position. Then it can attack a second time. Then it can declare a second attack on this turn, on each battle phase of the turn. And also, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to this effect's activation. And once per turn, when this card declares an attack on a face-up monster, you can also activate this effect to half the target's monster, the target monster's attack points, and it gains the attack points itself. Both, of course, only until the end of this turn. But it is great to get over big monsters. And funny enough, it can also still gain attack points even when it didn't halve the opponent's attack points, because it still gains them. Then we have Access Code Talker. Yeah, I know it's expensive, but it will be released. It will have many reprints in the Rarity Collection, which will be released in May this year. So we have a second Rarity Collection, and it will be in there. It will be in it for with like, I don't know, 4 or 5 or such rarities. So you most likely will get a chance. So there will also be a super rare of this card. So finally a chance for even the low budget players to play this card, including myself, because I also don't want to buy that expensive cards. Also had to wait for Pot of Prosperity, and yeah, I still need to get one copy of Diviner of the Herald in real life. So yeah. Then Appaloosa, both the Goddess is also in it, but yeah, Access Code Talker actually, yeah, it's if you link summon it, Then you can target one of the link materials, the link monsters you can use as a link material for this card. And yeah, then this card gains attack points equal to the link rating by times 1000. So usually you will use a link 3 monster for it, for example. Then you can have it gain 3000 attack permanently. And also you can banish one link monster from a graveyard, from a field or graveyard, and destroy one card your opponent controls, non-target by the way. And for the rest of this turn you cannot banish monsters with the same attribute to activate this effect. And also your opponent cannot respond to both effects of the Access Code Talker. So that is quite useful to get rid of big parts of your opponent's board. Then yeah, Appaloosa, yeah, it gains 800 attack points for its original attack points will become 800 times the number of link materials used for its link summon, and once per chain you can negate the activation of a monster effect your opponent activates by making it lose exactly 800 attack points. But it has to lose those attack points so it can actually resolve. Then we have Codebreaker Virus Berserker. It is in combo with Codebreaker Virus Swordsman, so I will explain that shortly. So you see, Virus Swordsman needs to affect monsters, and if it is co-linked, you can special summon one Codebreaker monster, one Codebreaker 0 day from your hand, deck, or graveyard to a zone a link monster points to. So that is important. The other effects aren't that important, so because you will anyway link it off anyways. And with it and Codebreaker 0 day, you can link off into Codebreaker Virus Berserker, and it allows you to special summon up to 2 Codebreaker monsters from your hand or graveyard to any zones the link monsters point to. So you can actually link climb with that. The rest isn't very important because you will link off anyway, them anyways, than for Appaloosa, for example. Then we have, of course, Nightmare Unicorn. If it is link summon, you can discard a card, target one card on the field, and shuffle it back into the deck. And yeah, if it is co-linked while this effect is activated, you can also draw one card. Might happen sometimes, but most likely not. And yeah. Then next we have Nightmare Phoenix. If it is link summoned, you can discard a card and target one spell or trap your opponent controls and destroy it. And if it was co-linked, we can draw one card. Then we have Nephthys, the Sacred Preserver, and it has multiple effects. But the most important effect at this one is you can on the turn it was link summoned, you can add one level 8 Winged Beast monster from a deck to your hand, and then you can also, if you want to, add one ritual spell from your graveyard to your hand, which you usually do. It also doesn't say anything about the targets having to be Nephthys monsters. The second effect doesn't really happen, so we will just ignore that. And then of course IP Masquerena. During the opponent's main phase, you can activate this quick effect to link summon by using it and other monsters you control as their link materials. And that link monster also cannot be destroyed by opponent's card effects. So that's it for the deck itself. Let's see, I will try to show you a combo with it. So let's take this, then we will need, let's say this, and why not use Extra Foolish Burial? So let's, I'll show you now the combo, and then you can try it out yourself if you want to. So let's activate Fossil Deck first. We get a Dino, and for this we will get Baby Stegosaurus. Then let's use Extra Foolish Burial. We have our life points, and send Herald of the Arclight and activate its graveyard effect and get Conductor of Nephthys. Next we normal summon Diviner of the Herald and activate its effect to send another one, because it isn't once per turn. And activate its effect, and this time we get Advanced Ritual Art. Okay, then next we activate Advanced Ritual Art and summon Conductor of Nephthys by sending Tomosaurus from our deck to the graveyard. So next is the effect of Conductor of Nephthys. We activate it and special summon Devotee of Nephthys from the deck, which is treated as Ritual Summon. So that means it can activate its effect to special summon another Nephthys monster from the deck. Matriarch. Okay. So next we need to link our two ritual monsters exactly off. For Nephthys, the Sacred Preserver. Activate its effect to search for the Sacred Phoenix of Nephthys. And also, because we can, add back the ritual spell. So, then next we activate the effect of Devotee of Nephthys and destroy the Sacred Phoenix and special summon it from the graveyard. That means Sacred Phoenix can trigger on our next standby phase to destroy the complete back rows, which is quite useful. And then, now the funny part happens. Next we activate the effect of Matriarch of Nephthys. This target Conductor of Nephthys. And now destroy Babysaurus by to special summon the Conductor of Nephthys. And that means Babysaurus automatically triggers and lets us special summon one Dino from our deck. We special summon Soul Eating Oviraptor. We activate its effect on summon to get Miscellaneous Saurus. Okay, that means we will add it to our hand, but we can of course also send it instead if we have been drawled, for example. I think, right? Or I think we can activate this effect then. Okay, then for the next part, we will link summon Appaloosa with this, and this. Yeah, sadly we cannot go for 4, but 3 is also good. And now we can also synchro summon Borreload Savage Dragon, because Herald, our Diviner of the Herald, is now level 6 and a tuner. And we have a level 2 monster on the field. So let's go and use its effect to equip it with the Nephthys, the Sacred Preserver. So it gains 600 attack and 2 counters. Then next we will go for Miscellaneous Saurus effect, and then for the second effect, banishing it. Wait, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, 2. And also, we will banish Tomosaurus. And special summon from our deck, Babysaurus. Because we need a second copy of it now. So, now it's we come to the important stuff. Because we have to activate Oviraptor's effect to destroy it. And then we have to get the second Babysaurus, so we can use both effects. So special summon it, and now the other one triggers as well, because it is still in the graveyard, and we can special summon another monster. This time Animadored Archosaur. Then we can activate its effect and destroy the babysitter source again to get the double evolution pill. This time and again it triggers, and this time we get Giant Rex on the field. Now now what we can do is we can link both off for IP Masquerina, and then we go for the double evolution pill. That means we banish Giant Rex and, yeah, let's say Herald of Arclight to summon Ultimate Conductor Tyranno to this zone. And now we can trigger the effect of Giant Rex and can go into an XC summon. So either you go into Abyss Dweller if you have an opponent that relies on the graveyard, or you can also go into Lagia to negate a normal special summon or spell or trap effect. So depends on what you prefer. Okay, and that's how you play it. So we have 3 monster negates, 1 omni negate, 1 spell trap or summon negate. Also we can link off and also flip every monster of our opponent face down. So lots of interruptions, and yeah. So it also is a good board for the next turn to just get over your opponent. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, then please like and subscribe. Also check out the other deck profiles I have, or playthroughs on my channel, if you want to watch more. In the description you'll find a link to Twitch where you can watch me stream live, and 2 links to Straw Poll where you can vote for the next games on I'll play on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So I hope to see you next time again. Have a great time. Bye bye.